Hello and welcome. Another classic laptop here that is non-functioning. This one starts to boot Windows, if I remember rightly, and then a couple of seconds in decides, no, I'm going to blue screen you. It needs a CMOS battery. It's a 3.6 gig Pentium 4, 256 megabytes of memory. It's crazy, isn't it? Megabytes of memory. When I think, I sit there and I think the computer that this video has been edited on has got 64 gigabytes of memory in it. So this is what this computer will do. It'll start to load and then it's going to bang me a blue screen. Crypt 32 DLL is possibly corrupt. That is all I'll get out of it no matter what I do. Even if I try and go into safe mode. So the procedure is going to be this. It's got some screws missing at the bottom. This laptop is from 2004. So it's 21 years old. If it was American, it could drink. £40GB hard drive, IDE. So, in the fullness of disclosure, the software that was on this laptop I've had to retrieve and I've had to get it running on a new laptop. And the procedure I took was, I tried to clone this drive. Because it's got bad sectors on it, the cloning software wouldn't allow me to. So what I ended up doing was using raw hard drive copy to make a raw copy of it onto another drive. The replacement drive then still wouldn't boot. The way I got it to boot was doing a repair with Windows to actually fix the problem. So you go in and put the Windows CD in and you press R. It rebooted itself a couple of times and off it went, it loaded, it booted. So I've got that hard drive image and I have just put it onto a serial SATA disk, which we're going to install in here and put in here. So this is the caddy. I'm going to put this hard drive in. Came off a well-known website. Got a spare screw or two here. So what we're going to use is an M-SATA drive like this one here. This one's actually only 8 gigs, so it's no good. That'll sit in here and we'll clamp it down with a screw, and that's actually going to convert that to IDE. I've used these because buying like a 64 gig IDE drive is well over £100. This entire thing with a 32 gig drive only cost me, I think it was just shy of £20. So I'm just going to wait for the drive to finish copying and then we'll go through the next stages. While we're waiting for that to complete and while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, let's do a little job. 1, 2, 3, 4. P5. I missed that one. And I don't know if that heat pipe's joined onto that or what, but I think this feels like, to me, we've been forgetting a processor with this. So, can I lift that catch at all as it comes out? Never the biggest fan with putting pressure and levering things. There we go, that's broken it. Well, broken the surface tension of the old heatsink compound. Just want to convince this to move. There's the screws. There's the gunk. There's what was called thermal paste. Yeah, not much left there, is there? So let's give that a clean, put a bit of fresh thermal paste on it, and just give it a better start in life. Just give this a little clean. Bit of a squidge of some thermal compound there, and we can pop this back together. At least we know this one is not, that it's going to run as cold as it can. And I do have a feeling that's a desktop processor. I mean, 3 gig at Pentium 4, that's it. That's your power, from what I remember. Maybe there might have been a 3.2 or 3.1. Now I will have a look as well to see if I can find some PC 2700 memory for this and bump this up to 512. I'm probably actually going to keep this laptop. Unlike the Sony, which I will have got rid of by now, which is, well, it's gone by now. I'm going to keep this one. Right, drive next then. So I've used that raw tool, raw image hard drive copy, and put the image of the original hard drive onto here. So this still will be a faulty hard drive. Still not able to boot, but what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to do a repair on it, which will then mean that we get to keep all of our drivers and everything else and all the little extras that Windows gives you, that, you know, that the Fujitsu etc. gives you, which could be a bonus. I'm not going to put all the screws in this at this point because we might end up screwing the drive up and having to start again. So this goes in, when I look at the caddy, here's my caddy originally, goes that way round, the pin's that way round. So she goes in like that. Let's pop her the right way round and leave the cover off the bottom for now. And go into the BIOS and see what settings we've got as well. Okay, that's got the CD-ROM as the first device. Not really much we can change in here. What I am going to try and do is send this video output to the secondary. Okay. Doesn't want to do it. That's his keys. So boot from CD-ROM. See, it says on here function F4. It's just ignoring it. Right, let me set you up to see Windows installing. So we're going to install Windows a little bit differently than we would do in a standard install, because we don't want to erase or destroy the contents of the hard drive. Here we go then. So we're going to press enter here. We want to repair, but we don't want to go into the console. F8. Now we're going to search for previous Windows. Now we're going to press R for repair. Okay, the next thing we've got to do is reset what's it here? Make sure that's United Kingdom, that's United Kingdom. Okay. Look, of all of this here, let's remove. Remove that. We want the English United Kingdom to stay. So there we go. English United Kingdom. Okay, I couldn't remove that because it's being a plonk. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. We've got a serial key. Now we're going to have to activate this as well, but that's another subject. GM T T P 8W 2 XD 7 K T K R 2Y 4. But something I noticed earlier, why isn't Windows XP open source yet? Good question. There we go. Serial number put in. That's the one for this laptop. That's actually the one off the machine, so that's kind of cool. And as a double bonus, it should have all of its drivers installed. We'll see. It's like, come on, do something, do something, do something. Yeah! Let's activate this thing. Now, I honestly cannot remember where I got this from. The Windows XP phone activation tool. So at the moment, we look at this. This machine is not activated. I can't remember where it is, but this tool here, run this, get from system, store to system, and now it will tell me that Windows is activated. Cracking little program. I got it off the internet somewhere, and I can't for the life of me remember where I got it from. There's a few programs on here that need to go because they're not original to this machine, and have no use because you need a disk to use them. Really works on and stuff like that. So those programs there, there's 1.6 gig of them, and we're just going to tell them to uninstall. Not unheard of, is it, for things to decide to be badly behaved. Just get rid of this. Now the only downside to how I've had to do this is the hard drive at the moment. The C drive is only 40 gig. It is what it is. I think what I'll probably do is find an old copy of Petition Magic, and then we can make that larger, make it the full size of the drive. As you can see, this program is a lot quicker. This is available, and there's a Windows 7, 10, 11 version, and I do use it occasionally when I have to deal with Windows. You know what? Works can go away along with those. Pro Golf can go. I'm going to leave Shockwave on here. Oh, All American Run Jim Rummy, that can go away as well. I'll throw this and restart in a second. Now, unlike a couple of the other laptops I've done, I'm actually going to leave this software on here because I've decided I want to keep this machine because of its age. It will run some older games that I have the urge to play. So I'm just going to have a look in here and just make sure it hasn't got rid of this laser shot, which is a bit messy. Norman antivirus can go away. So what's in the add-on folder? .NET, easy instruction guide, wanna do, dial-up internet, Nero WinDVD, how to set up wireless LAN. Wanna do, man. Yeah. Let's just make sure we've uninstalled this. So let's make sure this is gone. Yes. 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 Typical. There we go. That's a bit tidier. It's got rid of a bit of the junk off the desktop. Put them in the bin, put that in the bin. Okay, that's still being used till it reboots. Do something with this background. Let's go classic. There we go, look. At least make it look like Windows XP, eh? Tell you what, I will say, this thing's quite, it's nippy. Moving round. Rename that. So that's 37 gig drive. So if we go in now and do manage and we look at our disk management, we'll see we've got 80 gig there. But unlike Windows 7 and 10, there's no option to expand or resize the partition. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. Just have a quick clean of the registry because we've removed quite a lot of stuff. Same with junk. Not too bad actually, 61 megabytes. And there's the folders from what we've just got rid of. There we go. Arrange icons. Auto arrange. There we go. That's a bit tidier. And that's what we expect to see from Windows, isn't it? That can go away. That can go away. And I think I'm going to go and do that. We'll have our classic. So here we are, look, there's the add-ons. It's still showing us activate Windows, which it will do until we restart. So let's restart this computer. There we go. And we're back in. So now we will be able to delete this. I'm just going to have a little look in here. There's nothing here now. That's untidy. And then we have a nice Windows XP machine with a reasonable resolution of a monitor. What is this one? 1280 by 800, so that's not a bad resolution. What am I running my output on? No, it's cloning it. It's uncloned. It's good. Processor wise, we've got, it is a mobile Intel CPU, 3 gig CPU, 3.06, running 256 gig megabytes of memory. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and this shows you how you can recover what would be an otherwise dead operating system. This was done, and I saved this machine for a customer because they needed some of the software that was on here, the shooting alley thing that I've deleted. So I was able to repair the hard drive. Well, I cloned the hard drive in a non-working state, which then wouldn't boot at all on their machine because all the drivers were different. But because I did a restore and a repair on Windows, it repaired all the drivers, we got into the operating system and off it went. And we've also got this machine working now, and I think this is going to be an ideal host for some classic games. I shall find a few and put a few on here and have a play. But thank you for looking at that MSN, Windows Messenger, movie player, movie maker. It's awesome. It's all stuff we've played with in the future, in the past, past. Music. Just go through and delete anything on here that might be personal. So there we go then. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a bit from this and you've got a bit of knowledge as to how you can repair an old system. The big thing that I'll say to you is if you're going to attempt this, the first thing to do is to clone that drive. Bit by bit, use raw drive copy, something like that. Take an image of it and then work with your copy. Because if you screw it up, you can always go back again. Anyhow, I'll leave you with that and thank you. Please subscribe, enjoy, hit the bell and the other bits and pieces for me. Thank you. Bye bye.